There we go. It is going to be that PVC once again. Feels like home, doesn't it? Like,
it does. It does. I'm okay to be here. And yeah, we are going to be beginning this bit of a treat here. We have Vietnam versus Singapore. And again, like this is something that we may see a little bit more often, as Saiko, he is representing Singapore in the Southeast Asia League as well, which is also running for the next couple of weeks. So yeah, we'll get a little bit of a taste
this week
of
and next week.
Yeah, what he has to offer.
Nodding my head. And speaking of what they've got to offer here, we are now on Ice and Chrome. And you know what, Light? I figured it out. I don't remember who made this map. I think it was Super Newman. I'll figure it out. I'll check later on, but I figured it out. This was all an elaborate subliminal marketing by Dare Ice Coffee. This entire map. You were all focused on the Chrome. You didn't even notice the coffee. In the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner map, we have the Red Zerg, coming out all the way from the land of Malaysia. He is actually the only Zerg player in the upper bracket, looking at it right now. Representing Heroes of God, we have Uply.
Of course, let's not forget about the opponent who's waiting for him, which is Oreo, the other Zerg player, but
I'm Vietnamese player. I meant Vietnamese player.
Okay, there we go.
I say Zerg.
You did say Zerg. And spawning in the top right, especially because Oreo's in the chat as well. Yaku, please, you forgot about it.
I meant Vietnamese. That was why I was thinking, like, it's surprising Justice Simon is in the lower bracket. I was like, how did that? Oh no. I'm sorry.
All right, and spawning in the top right-hand corner is the Singaporean Protoss player, the blue Protoss player, representing himself as he is teamless. It is Saiko.
Saiko killer. Da da da. Da da da. I think that's copyrighted.
And honestly, I'm not too sure where to place Saiko. We were talking about it a little bit during the break, right? Like, yeah. I don't really know how he really compares to Lobo. But he was able to take out Chappie, and that's quite an impressive feat.
Yeah, that's not too bad. And yeah, I think we do rate him amongst his more contemporaries from Singapore, Lobo and Whisk and whatnot, especially since, they played together in Nation Wars. But yeah, comparing him to the sort of overall Southeast Asia scene, well, it's easier for Southeast Asia, right? Because Saiko, he plays in Aodai a lot. But even then, it's still a little bit hard to really nail down his position.
Exactly. I do wish that we were able to catch a little bit more of him, and hopefully we do after this. Like, so far he's had a really impressive performance taking out Chappie, but now he's up against one of the best Zerg players in Southeast Asia, in Vietnam at least, second to Micah, but like, he's still impressive in and of himself. And we'll see how this matchup goes, as it looks like we do have a Robo on the way. I believe we did see, there it is, a Twilight Council as well. Could be seeing Glaive Adepts, but actually the Lings make it in.
Yeah, should be able to get a very nice scout off here. We'll see the Twilight Council, and we'll see that it's researching something. And you should know that it's going to be Glaives. But at the back of his mind, I gotta tell you, like, at the back of his mind, he's thinking, I'm up against a Saiko killer right now. He might be going for a charge.
You're not wrong, right? Like, he's crazy. He's from Singapore. Who knows what he's gonna do? But we do see he's not that crazy. He's going for Glaive Adepts, and we shall see how Uply is able to defend against this. Again, Ranger, the game that he did take against Uply was with Glaive Adepts. So we'll see if Uply's defense can fare a little bit better in this series.
And already he's grabbing that Roach Horn. Gonna be finished up real soon. So, especially on a map like Ice and Chrome, which it's a fairly short rush distance, I would say, but it's definitely easier to defend those bases than on something like Eternal Empire, or I would argue even a map like Death Aura. I think Uply is gonna have no trouble at all.
Yeah, I mean,
Hopefully,
Like,
Saiko will transition out of this glaive at that push.
yeah, we'll see how much he commits to this. We'll see if he gets a third base behind this or starts working on Immortal production. But he is here with his Warp Prism, warping in more and more Adepts. Is going to line up really nicely with Resonating Glaives, but there are already Roaches here at the third base.
Exactly. I think this is honestly just perfect timing from Saiko, if not for the fact that Uply scouted early on.
Yeah, exactly. So Uply, he was able to, you know, prepare himself for this. Right now, he's making nothing but units, Lings and Roaches on the way. And so far, Saiko hasn't committed to any of these Blinks. And Uply, he's already pre-split. Like, he's already spread out his army.
This, again, Uply, he's already got this rigid creep. He is positioning his army in such a way that he can just easily, you know, collapse his entire army supply in one location, depending on where Saiko commits to a shade, if he'll even commit to a shade, as Saiko's actually playing this out very cautiously, which is honestly the right thing to do. He's transitioning out of this, getting his Forge, getting his Immortal count up.
Yeah,
he's just clean creep.
It's really important to note that he actually hasn't warped in any more Adepts other than these initial 6, or more even. But yeah, like he hasn't warped in at all. Instead, he's taken a third base. He's working on his Immortal production. He's getting a Forge, so he is just transitioning, and he was just 9 creep, just keeping Uply busy.
Yeah, pretty good use of pressure, you know, prevents the creeps here from coming out, but that's just about being put to an end as Uply goes for this massive counterattack, and there's not a lot here to defend here. Thankfully, Saiko does have a couple of his Adepts from earlier on, so yeah, should be able to defend that.
Yeah, he came back home with everything. He is here, or not with everything, but, you know, the Warp Prism, you know, it does still have potential out on the map. It didn't get taken out or anything, but, ooh, Uply with the Spire.
Cheeky. Going for that Spire, grabbing 6 gases. You really need as much as you can get when you're going for mutas like this. Normally you just recommended 4, but if you can get more, go for it.
Yeah, 4 is typically if you're rushing mutas, but of course Uply, he did go for Roaches first, and now more in the mid game is going for that mutalist play. And Saiko, so far, he missed it. He missed it with the hallucinated scout.
Wow.
Oh god.
That was such a good position for Uply to keep his Spire in. I'm shooketh. Like, I am shooketh.
Yes, at the moment, Saiko, he has no idea that his opponent is going for this Spire play. Instead, you know, he has his own plans. He's getting +1, he's getting Blink, getting DTs even, as well as a robotics bay. Looks like he's getting quite a bit at once. We'll see if it's enough to hold against these oncoming mutas, and if he's able to scout eventually.
Yeah, I think it is going to depend a lot on how soon Saiko turns those DTs into Archons, how soon he's, as you said, how soon he's able to scout that the Mutalisks are coming out, because inadvertently he's actually set himself up to get a pretty anti-Mutalisk army.
Yeah.
He just has to, you know, actually get the units for it.
Exactly. Like with the Dark Shrine, like Archons are going to be amazing against Mutalisks. Blink Stalkers as well. Like he can have what he needs against them. And I do believe it did just get spotted with a unit out here with this hallucination. Saiko now knows that Mutalisks are coming out, and what will be his response? He's throwing down a little bit of static defense. Blink has finished up for his Stalkers.
That was what did that recall?
I think it was the Warp Prism, but I think the Mutalisks took it out. Regardless,
that's a bit of a shame.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shame. But on the plus side, at least he scouted the Mutas coming out. And right now his defenses aren't looking too good, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, he has a couple of Stalkers here and there. Static Defense is about to finish up as well, and it looks like his response is going to be Stargate. But I don't know if that's
that feels a little ambitious, especially on 3 bases.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the DTs are moving out across the map, looking to try and find some kind of damage. But we'll see if anything comes from that. Again, I will also see if Uply commits more to these Mutalisks, because he's stopped Mutalisk production. He's not like pulling a demi. He isn't investing everything that he has into Mutalisks.
Yeah, instead just trying to see if he can get any probe damage here and there. Doesn't seem to be quite like it, but can still apply the pressure, you know, make Saiko a little bit uncomfortable here, make him, best case scenario, slip up a little bit. But yeah, he's just, for the most part, just trying to make use of these mutas that he really can't get too much value out of as for the time being. That's a lot of army coming out from Uply.
That's a lot of army. That's also, to be fair, from Saiko, that's a lot of force fields. That's what he's going to have to rely on to deal with this Ling, Bane, Roach, Ravager-based army. The problem is that there are plenty of Ravagers. He can deal with the force fields.
He definitely can. And I gotta say, I think Saiko right now, he's behind in terms of the army count. If he can buy himself enough time, as you were saying, he should be able to get a couple more Warpins in. You know, maybe get some Phoenixes out or another Colossus. But he does need to buy himself as much time as possible. That Uply is not looking to give him. Look at this perfect surround being set up right now.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Saiko's force field really going to be put to test.
Exactly. Regardless, he's going to have to basically force field himself into a circle as he's going to get surrounded.
Oh, and the Banelings crash right on top of the Colossus. Might just be able to take them out. Lost all of his buffer for them. And Uply just collapsing on top of his Protoss army. He looks unstoppable right now. Like,
oh my god, the Baneling connections were perfect. All the sentries are going to go down. The force fields were just not enough for Saiko, and he has lost almost everything. He only has a couple of Blink Stalkers and 2 Phoenixes. What are the Phoenixes going to do, Yaku?
I mean, they can lift.
They can go across the map.
They can lift.
He can disrupt the economy. He can lift up a couple of frames.
It only takes one. It only takes one.
It only takes one. Ooh, actually, there's no detection here, so these DTs are buying some time, but...
Yeah, but Saiko saw the writing on the wall. Uply will be taking game number 1 of this best-of-3 quarterfinals. Look, getting one step closer to that qualifying match.
Oh yeah, and I can't wait. Either of these players, I can't wait to get into some Oreo for that qualifying match. That sound weird? No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, a lot. I also had to look at Dax's stream.
All good. And hopefully he started his TVT. I know that they were also taking some time to begin.
Oh, no, game number 2 now.
Oh.
Or they're going to be starting at game number 2. Game number 1 was Everdream. Razorblade took that one. It's actually a really nice overlay looking at Dax's stream right now.
Oh yeah, I love the production of Dax. He, normally he does cast FPS, Overwatch, and more recently Valorant.
Yep.
Yeah. But he has also been able to adapt his overlays and his setup for StarCraft 2 as well. And he also kind of started with StarCraft like years ago. That's kind of where he began. And yeah.
And he's still very much involved in the Philippine stream scene. He is one of the people behind SC2 Philippines, which is again the Filipino clan, which they don't just compete, they also organize a lot of stuff, not just for Philippines but also for the rest of Southeast Asia, like Seal.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, we're pretty familiar with their team, with their players as well, like Extinct, Phoenix. We've seen so many of them. Nux. Like Nux as well. We've seen so many of them like play in our tournaments, in our amateur events and GPO as well. Yeah, it's always great to see them. And yeah, it looks like we are going to be getting set up for game number 2, and we're getting into it again. I love it. We didn't get to see it at all yesterday. We're getting into some more Death Aura.
Ooh. Interesting.
Yeah, again, we saw it 0. We didn't see it at all yesterday. We even at least got to see Submarine once, but today it's been a little bit more aggressive. It's been a little bit more crazy. I love it.
Yeah, day 2, you got to be more cutthroat. This is the last shot for these players to qualify.
Exactly, their
qualify
last
for
shot.
ANZ champs. Sorry,
It's so good.
And speaking of the last shot, here we go. This could just about be Saiko's last shot to make it to that. No, it's not, because he's still in the upper bracket.
Sorry, go for it. Then I have something to say.
This could just be Uply slash. No wait, because he's already up one. No wait, I don't know how to transition out of that. In the top left-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner of the map, which is the Death Aura. LE. We have the red Protoss player coming down. No, wait, Protoss? Zerg player coming out all the way from the land of Vietnam. He is representing Heroes of God, the last Vietnamese player in the upper bracket. Can he make it to the qualifiers? He is Uply.
I'll also ask you to quickly have a look at Twitch chat if you if you will.
I'm gonna look past that.
Okay.
I'm gonna look past that.
Spawning in to Death Aura LE, we have the Singaporean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, as he is representing himself. He's teamless. He is Saiko.
Run away. That's copyrighted though.
And right now he is here. He is representing his country as the best Singaporean player in the current qualifiers. Of course, Blisk, he did just, get seeded in. Hopefully Blisk has been practicing. Hopefully, he's looking to be in form. I did notice, I think he streamed the other day, actually.
And was not able to catch that.
Yeah. So it's really cool that, he is being active. He is getting ready for ANZ champs.
Yeah. And he made it to the main event last time. Hopefully he can make it even further.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. A lot of eyes are on him, right? Like, how much can he do with so little time? Regardless of how he does, it's like impressive, right? Like, it does go to show that we talk about like Caesar as well. Like, there are sometimes these talented players who can just do so much with so little practice. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see how well Bliss can do, how well Caesar can do. Quantel as well, his first time in ANZ champs. It's exciting.
Hell yeah.
And actually, it's going to be the first time of
Indonesia proud.
Yeah, and one of these players, Uply, Saiko, and Oreo, one of these players is also going to qualify, and it's going to be their first time in ANZ champs.
That is also
yeah.
Rip out, I know.
Rip out, die.
But it does mean that they'll be able to really advance their career in a way.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's going to be a huge step for them. It's going to be a huge step in a lot of ways, like career-wise, like monetarily as well. Like, there's a lot of money up for grabs in ANZ champs, and yeah, I look forward to see either one of these guys, perform well there, and it's like more incentive, right, to continue to compete and improve and get better at StarCraft.
That it definitely is. Meanwhile, we do see a Stargate into a W8 opening coming up from Saiko. Does like to do this on Death Aura, from what I remember from previous qualifiers, as well as other stuff I've kind of seen him in. So, yeah, we'll see where he decides to transition, or what he decides to do with those gateways.
Yeah, we shall see. And again, this Oracle, it does dive in no Spore, so he's actually getting quite a decent amount of drone kills.
Saiko being so ballsy right now. He is a psycho killer. Taking out 4 drones just like that. Who dives right into Queenside? What sane person dives into Queens like that just to get 4 drones?
No sane person, Yaku.
Nope, exactly.
A psycho does that.
Oh,
mate. And I was also wondering what he would produce out of this Stargate. He went for an Oracle first into a Phoenix, no double or triple Oracle play coming out from Saiko, so a little bit more standard as he is looking to expand and get a third base, off of killing all those drones.
Yeah, that's actually been pretty well done by Saiko. Will, as you said, just secure that third base, knows that Uply's gonna have to focus more on droning up, and obviously that was a game-ending damage, so Uply not gonna go for any all-ins anytime soon.
Oh yeah, and I was wondering if the Oracle was gonna be recalled, but does actually slip away through the bases and does escape.
He knew there were queens here now. He knew this Oracle was already scouted. There would probably be a Spore or 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What sane person doesn't use a recall? Like.
Exactly, right? He's crazy. What's he gonna do? I don't know. He could lose the Oracle. He could keep it alive. He's dancing with death right now on Death Aura outside the third of Uply. And behind this, if we look at the production tab, we have quite a lot going for him. We've got Twilight Council, we've got a Forge, a Robo, everything finishing up for Saiko. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's still diving into the Oracle. He's still diving into the Oracle. Gets another drone kill. And it is so low. Is he finally going to take it back home? Alright, he's going to rest it here. outside of Uply's bases.
You know what I would love to think? We have a Spire on the way. I would like to think Uply is getting the Spire just to kill the Oracle. He's like, this goddamn Oracle is still alive. I gotta make some mutants for this just to kill the Oracle.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make any more mutants after that. I'm gonna get Galile, actually. It's gotta be dealt with. This Oracle.
Exactly, it's lived far too long, and we'll see if it can get any more damage done. This, Phoenix diving in as well, getting some nice scouting information. I do not believe, yes, the Spire hasn't spotted, but now it has. He sees it, he knows as long as he clicked on it. And with this information,
will he click on it though? Because Uply,
I think he did.
All those overlords. Okay, did manage to click on it. Just in time, but yeah, that was actually a really nice maneuver by Uply, eh?
Yeah,
I'm not sure why he. No, he's throwing down the creep. Yeah, it is because just putting the overlords there, that's already pretty big, right? It can already hide the tech.
Yeah,
having them all secrete the creep like this, it's a little bit suspicious. But it also kind of covers it up pretty well. It makes that Spire just a little bit harder to click on.
It does. This is something I've not seen before, and I think it's really cute. I don't know how often it works.
I don't know how effective it is, but I love it.
I don't know how effective it is either, but again, I like the idea behind it. Just cover it up, make sure he doesn't see it. But as we do see, Saiko, he saw it as soon as he spotted the Spire. He started the Phoenix production, and he's going mass Phoenixes. But ooh, I love this. Uply being Miyamika-esque. He made the Spire, but he's not going to make anything as he's going for Hydras instead, knowing that his opponent is making Phoenixes.
Well then.
I love it. This is
a game of counters.
This is why Demi hates playing against Miyamika. It's beautiful. Demi goes in, he scouts something, he scouts a Spire, but Miyamika, he doesn't make mutas. He actually goes Roach Hydra instead.
The scouting, it means nothing.
It means nothing. It's actually working against Saiko right now, as he invested in all these Phoenixes. To be fair though, there's not that much anti-air, so he's gonna get some drone kills.
Yeah, that is one of the downsides of delaying your Spire units in favor of going into Hydras. You will be a little defenseless when it comes to the anti-air, and Saiko, already 9 drones have gone down. Who can stop him?
Who can stop him? Another madman. We'll see if Uply can be the one to stop him, as again, 9 drone kills. That's actually quite a lot. And Saiko, it looks like he's trying to dive back in. Again, the Phoenixes are running out of energy, so they can't deal too much, but they're going to be able to even get some, deal some damage to some overlords as well.
I guess that's another downside of clumping your overlords to try to hide tech. But Saiko, he's not that Psycho. He's not gonna jump in on all of those overlords and risk getting all of his Phoenixes taken out. Meanwhile, the Baneling trap getting set up. Uply, it seems like he likes to do this, just based on the games we've seen today.
Yeah, he must be a big fan of Vivid, as he is gonna go for that. Those Baneling drops, those Overlord drops in general. But Saiko, he's maneuvering his army. He's looking to try and push in with this Colossus, the Immortals, and all of these sentries.
And this is looking pretty worrisome right now for Uply. It's mostly Lings and Roaches in that army. In other words, exactly what Saiko wants to fight.
Yeah, and the Ravagers and the Banelings are only just being morphed in now. They're not ready for this engagement.
And this third base could just go forfeit. Good force fields. I think if Saiko just focuses on this fourth base while force fielding as much as he can, there is a bit of a gap, but does manage to rectify that just at the last second. And this base is still in a lot of trouble. Transfuses help out quite a bit, but it doesn't help that much. Meanwhile, we do see a warp in the main base. Uply gonna have to choose Ray Defense. Such good force field usage, and the third base, or the fourth base, I guess, does go down.
Yeah, really well played here by Saiko. Oh, he does get a couple of his units get caught out, and he has to be careful not to overstay his welcome, as the army of Uply did push in. But as all this was happening,
left and right.
Exactly, the Zealots, the Warp in, the Warp Prism just dealt so much damage. 43 drones have gone down, and sure, the Baneling drop went in, and he killed 7 probes, but that's nowhere near enough here.
Feeling at 44 is a bit more than 7, because when you add 4 and 4, you get 8.
Exactly.
That's confirmation. That's 1 in 7.
That's math right there. That's Singaporean math. And here we go. Saiko, the madman, he has been able to kill a base. He killed so many workers as well. And again, like, what does Uply do in this situation? I feel like he needs to try and do something crazy, take a page out of Saiko's book and go for like a big drop or deal some kind of damage, because right now Saiko is so far ahead.
So insanely far ahead. And yeah, I think Uply may have one last shot in him in terms of maybe just defending a potential second wave coming out from Saiko, and from there, if he can trade evenly, then maybe he can sort of stabilize. But even then, Saiko will still be a little bit far ahead in terms of the economy count, and Saiko's just looking to end it.
Exactly. It looked like Uply was trying to get another Bailing drop ready, but the Lings were taken out, and here we go. The main army of Saiko is pushing in to the third base. GG gets called.
GG is called, and Saiko takes it to the ace match. He's a madman, Light.
He is a madman. He's crazy. He's able to take game number 2, and we're tied up 1-1.
Lord.
Oh my god, this is beautiful.
I guess those centuries, man. If there was anything I have to say, it's Singapore server feels good, man. Literally 0 MS.
Literally 0. And oh my god, that was just really well done by Saiko, able to tie up the series. And honestly, up until that point, up until that push, like, it was, I was kind of favoring Uply a little bit. But again, as you were saying, Uply, he invested into that Spire, and then switching tech, when you switch tech like that, it takes a while, right? Because it takes a longer for your tech of choice to come out. You invested all this money into the Spire to begin with. Like, it takes a bit of time, and Saiko was able to take that opportunity, go through that small window that he had, and was just able to take out Uply.
And now for the ace match, it's all banging on this. Whoever makes it out of this goes into that best of 5 qualifying match. And yeah, we'll from there, it's either gonna be Oreo or one of these 2 players.
Exactly, and it really could go either way, especially after that last game. I thought Uply, he was a shoo-in. I thought he was just gonna blaze his way through, but no, Saiko, he fights back.
And speaking of fighting back, here comes that map that you thought you saw the last stuff, but is starting to fight back now. It is gonna be Eternal Empire, L-E-E-L-E-Ile. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner map. We have the Red Zerg coming all the way from the land of Vietnam, representing Heroes of God. He is Uply.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Eternal Empire LE, we have the Singaporean Protoss player, the blue Protoss, the teamless player. He is Saiko. Can you imagine if Saiko qualifies? Like,
I can. Yeah.
Honestly, after game 1, I just completely dismissed the possibility. But no, yeah, he could as well. Like, for either of these players, like, it's gonna be so huge.
It definitely will. And here's the thing, like, in game number 1, he was inhibited. Game number 2, he really gave in to his inner inhibitions. He became that Saiko he needed to be.
Exactly. He's like Miyamika, when Miyamika really gets into the zone, like, his eyes roll back, he gets possessed by the cat god, if you will, and he just does what he does. And Saiko, similarly, he just let himself go. He embraced his inner madman, and I want to see how we're going to play out here in Eternal Empire. Again, kind of oddly, we do see this a lot as game 3 so far in our series. So in a more macro-oriented map, we'll see. Yeah,
it's definitely the safest map in the current map pool. I think some people would argue for Everdream because it's also been the pool for a while, and most people have figured out just how to defend on that map and you know what the little intricacies are. But yeah, Eternal Empire is a map that's figured out and also meant to be defensive and macro.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see after all that aggression in the first 2 games what happens here on Eternal, as Saiko once again is going for that Stargate opener.
Alrighty, well, it's a long rush distance by ground, so you may as well take to the air.
Exactly, yeah, and we saw how much Saiko could get done with that one Oracle of his in game number 2. Maybe he can do the same here in game number 3, or he could do something a little bit differently. You know, he could go double or triple Oracle as well. Like, there's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering right now, as this time Saiko kind of delaying the gates a little bit. He does have his starting gateway, but other than that, not too much. He is going to be a lot more committed to the Stargate openings, and what a god, yeah. Takes out 3 drones with one adept.
Yeah.
Who commits to that shade, Light? What sane person commits to that shade?
He got 3 worker kills. He forced a spore to be made and then cancelled, and then a little bit of lost mining time as well. Like, for one adept, that was really well done there by Saiko. And we do see he did go for that 1 Oracle, no Phoenix follow-up, surprisingly. And we'll see what this can get done. It did get scouted, so there is a spore done.
Yeah, it did get scouted out. And Saiko now going to be transitioning once again to the double gate follow-up, or I guess now it's a triple gate, as there is that gate earlier on.
Yeah. I'm going to be very interested to see how this goes, as it looks like an Overlord went down, so Uply was supply blocked a little bit, and there we go. The Phoenix is still coming out for Saiko. Behind this, a 3rd base is being taken. So Saiko, with his Oracle, with his Phoenix, looking to just gain map control, keep Uply at home.
He dives past the queen.
Oh, there's no spore here.
And there's no spore in this 3rd base.
There's no queen either.
He's getting the larva.
Oh my god.
There ain't any queens, and yeah, just once again keeping the economy of Uply down as much as possible. You can really see how much that can snowball for Saiko, as he is now 41 workers versus 35, but Uply's had enough. What does Uply do when his opponent is being annoying with air units, whether it be Mutas or Oracles? He goes for a Nidus.
Goes for a Nidus. Of course he does. So with this Nidus, he'll be able to bypass all of this. Like, he hasn't had map control, his creep spread has been lacking, but that doesn't matter because he has all these queens and he's going to be popping up across the map.
He's diving in.
Oh god, he gets spotted.
Nidus does pop up, but yeah, as you said, does get spotted, and I do not think this Nidus is going to complete. Not with that probe surround, not with the reinforcing stalkers, and that's a kill.
That was a kill, and the Lings, instead, they go here to the 3rd base. The army is out of position. He's focusing on this Overseer, but it was a distraction as the Nidus is coming out here at the 3rd.
And there's just not enough that can deal with that. The even the army getting a lot of trouble with these Lings, and yeah, now all the queens make it out. Will take out the Oracle. That's the happiest day, a moment of Uply's day so far. Exactly,
the Oracle gets sniped right out of the sky. The 3rd base will be going down. The queens are here, and is there enough here on the ground for Saiko to deal with this army? Oh, another Oracle gets taken out.
Honestly, I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
The queens are doing such a good job right now. They have plenty of energy for transfuse, and yeah, starting to creep forward here, so they're going to be a lot more mobile. You know, Saiko, he's got a couple of Blink Stalkers. He's got a couple of sentries that can aid in the defense here. But other than that, he just does not look like he has a lot. He's actually exposing himself.
He is very much so. He has to be so careful whenever he comes on creep, especially against this Ling Queen. And behind this, Uply, he's droning up. He's getting a Hydralisk Den, and he's just transitioning, making sure he has enough just to end this out. We'll see if Saiko has enough to maybe he's gonna focus on the Nidus. Oh.
And almost dead, but not. And it would have gone down if not for that meddling transfuses. Really good force field, so these queens are going to be trapped here. Yeah, they are trapped right now, and if he can take this out, if Saiko can take out these queens, that would have been a pretty expensive loss for Uply. Focusing the high energy queens first. Very nicely done.
Yeah, so he cleans up all the queens, and the big question is, if Saiko goes for a counterattack with his army, like, does Uply have enough to defend? He has Lings, he's working on his Hydralisk count, he's working on nothing but army at the moment, just in case.
He's actually going full me on my guy. I don't see a Baneling nest. Like, I don't see a Baneling nest.
To be fair, in this match, I don't know if he necessarily needs a Baneling nest. I think I think Ling Hydra is okay for now. Maybe if the game progresses even longer, then hopefully we do see a Baneling nest. But yeah, we'll see. So far, Saiko, he's staying at home.
Yeah, and he's starting to move out right now. And honestly, you were saying that as the game goes on, it could be dangerous for Uply. He may need a Baneling nest. I'm just looking at the amount of sentries right now, like, I'm thinking he's gonna need some Ravagers on top of that.
Yeah,
have you seen Saiko? He knows how to land his force fields.
Exactly. Like, when it comes to this counterattack, it's very possible that Uply, his army gets split in half. He's not gonna have enough to defend.
These are just light units, like.
There they are, and against the Colossus, they're just gonna melt.
Do so well. And this could be it. This is a really good counterattack right now. Good Guardian Shield coming out. The force fields right on the mineral line, forcing everything into a choke point. And is this gonna be it? Can Uply hold this?
It looks like Saiko may have too much. Like, he still has plenty of energy for more force fields. A lot of Lings went down, but the Hydras are still here for Saiko. He's gonna try and engage into this, but again, the force fields are so good.
Force fields are so good. Thermal Ants finish up behind us, and it may be only one Colossus, but there's plenty of buffer right now for that Colossus, and honestly, they can just kite these Hydralisks for days. These light units just get shredded.
We'll see another Colossus joins as well. We have 2 Colossus here, only Hydras, no more Lings to buffer, and it looks like there's just too much AoE here. Like, the Hydralisks, they're just falling.
GG is called. And I guess today is our PVZ day, as Saiko will be advancing to the qualifying match to face up against Oreo.
Wow. Oh my god. I was on the Uply hype train, but Saiko, the madman, he looked like he had taken too much damage, right? He had lost the third base, he had lost all the probes, but in the end, it was so important that he was able to snipe that Nidus and get essentially all of those queens for free. So many queens went down, and potentially Uply was a little bit too greedy, like droning up a little bit too far. And as you said, like, without Ravagers, like, force fields just do so much against Zerg armies.
Especially when you have very low ping on Singapore server, yeah.
yeah. I mean, to be fair,
feels good, man. Feels good.
feels good, man. Oh my god, and
force feels good, man. Ignoring that. Choose to overlook that. Yeah, and once again, this is the upper bracket, so Uply, he's not out of it yet, will be going down to that lower bracket, can still qualify, but there's only one qualifier in that lower bracket. So it's definitely going to be, these players are definitely going to be very hungry for that victory.
Definitely, and we're here, we're home. Once again, we're going to be getting into another PVZ Saiko against, we haven't casted one of these in quite some time, but against an Australian player. Last one was Vivid at the beginning of the day against Oreo.
Look, we're going to start it with an Australian player. We could potentially end it with an Australian player, depending on how the lower bracket goes.